Bronny can go in front of ESPN.
Nigga, my mama gonna go to war, nigga. I don't give a fuck how old she is or how old I am. So if I got a pops, that nigga gonna do this. Well, he better do this. That's right.
Yeah.
But now we're opening the door for all of these parents to start coming out and protecting their kids.
If you think that's bad, wait till you see Shador.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's about to get worse.
Deion already doing that. We all saw what we saw, and you know what we saw.
That's elementary school.
No.
That's all
When you a teammate, he push him like, man, like, let's go. He push him like,
Get off of me. Get off of me.
Get off me.
No, don't touch me.
Was it worth the $30,000? Now? in the moment.
In that moment.
In the moment.
He was up.
You remember? Was it bingo night or was it? 44. You know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. But I'm gonna keep it high level, and this is gonna just give you the beats, and I give you my opinion at the end on all of these topics. But what's going on? The core issue is the carriage rights fee.
First of all, start off the right way. Exactly. Let me start out like this. This is why I'm broke and you got money. This whole Dak Prescott saga.
What are those? On the field, I got metric after metric. He's a winner. Okay, he's number one in all categories for the Dallas Cowboys first 5 seasons. Off the field, unquestionable character. Like, the only thing you got on Dak Prescott is,
I am undisputed. Oh, come on. And me playing basketball, and I just want to line up.
he's getting up.
And show, yeah, we doing this for real. That's what I did.
I
want to go rebound.
Shoot. This one?
Cut that up, baby. This boy, it's wet time. That's what I do.
I still don't know why this is a pick, except exceptional play by the defender. Look at that. 2 dudes reaching, and then he comes between them and say, let me split this bunk bed. And I'm out of here. Shotgun snap, slips. Oh, that's ugly. Sack on your first play ever in the NFL. Y'all know your nightmares came true. You're like, God dang. Oh, yeah, this ain't it. Look at this blitz right here.
I mean, he only knows so much what he's reading off stats, off paper. I mean, everything's good on paper. But I would always love to hear from a player because they play the game.
What about a journalist? Like, being real, NARPs are journalists. Like, you're from that pool, right? So imagine somebody just said, you didn't play the game. I don't want to hear it.
She would have a living room full of people at about 10 p.m. probably every other Friday or Saturday. Come up here and I already know what they want, and I got to sing whatever song.
Did you say song. Sing, not rap? You said sing, huh?
Sing. Yeah, they ain't trying to hear no rap. They ain't trying to hear no rap. Yeah.
Well, you think you can do something with that? Hey man, Michael Jordan too light in the tail.
Okay, you know what? Big dog?
Yes.
I ain't light in the tail. If you want some of this, let's go one-on-one right now. Everyone's playing the hits, but I'm a DJ. And one thing I know from my DJing experience is that you don't just play the hits. You play things that people haven't found out about yet. Discovery. Not up to me. I don't have this ego where I'm a buck, talk trash, and be like, yo, I don't like this. I'm gonna be like this. All right, I got enough talent. I got enough belief in me. I know what I want to do. Yep, let me go do it. God dang. Woo, I need to go to Radio Shack. I need Circuit City back. Man, this thing was over here crashing, and the way that my audio was going with my video, I was like, man, I ain't gonna do these people like this. So I try to be the one who's the perfectionist, and I try to get things perfect. And things worked out. We are here now. What's up? I see y'all beat it up in the comments. Let's have some fun. My itty bitties are running around the house acting like I don't know they're awake. It's a weird time. They're getting to that age where they like to wake up and sneak around. It's like hide and go seek before we even say good morning. Weirdness out here. How you guys doing? What's today? Y'all still saying 2025? I know I am. I'm stuck. I'm like 20. I don't know. What's it? January 3rd? January 3rd. January 3rd. Okay. So we are in the mix. We about to get into it. Let me make sure I can see y'all. Yeah, I can see y'all. Good. We are here. I know I done psyched out so many people. People are like, man, I ain't tripping. I don't even know. We finally up, big dog, Reckless Media. We finally up. So let's have some fun. Let's get into this. We got a lot of sports. We going everywhere. We got LeBron. We got Lamar. Woo! We got a lot of college football talk, a lot of conversation, a lot of people trying to fix this damn thing. And I'm like, what's broke? You got to remember, on this show, we're going to try and dive deeper beyond the narratives because a lot of people got agendas. A lot of people just want to say stuff so they get their money off. But the real of it is college football's in an interesting place. Let's start right there. Where we see headlines like this pitiful Texas Tech. We saw that game. They ain't even score. Alabama college football playoff performances made Group of 5 complaints even more idiotic. You guys remember that? Remember how we started off? Talking about, damn, James Madison, damn, Tulane, y'all sorry asses up in these playoffs. What y'all doing? Everybody was mad at them, right? And then we saw Texas Tech go, and we were like, Now, the thing about it is, we know that this is to gather energy, gather attention, right? What do we think has the greatest chance of bringing people together? Ratings. You can say what you want. People always it's the stupidest thing I hear. People say, you only doing it for clicks and views. Everybody's doing it for clicks and views. Why do you think any show says, let's start off talking about LeBron. Let's start talking about the Cowboys. Let's start talking about Nick Saban. Like, whatever. It's whatever's hot. And it's really determined by y'all. Not you, y'all. You know, like we're trying to figure out what do people want to hear about. So there's hot topics. There's always a hot list. That's what it's called. All the networks have a hot list. You subscribe to it. It's internal typically, but they share it. And it's just all the topics of the day. And no matter where you are, it's going to be similar, like the same topics. Like, let's give an example. That Lamar Jackson, when that report came out, that's a hot topic. Somebody saying Lamar Jackson is sleeping in meetings. Now we're going to hear his retort today. So that's a hot topic. Stuff like that. So guess what? There are hot programs too. It's like Tulane, James Madison, y'all ain't it. Texas Tech, Alabama, y'all are. Now you show up, and boy, did y'all not show up. You can see right here in this article, everybody's been talking bad about the small schools, the Group of 5s, all the complaints, and then that turns into what? A horrible performance. We saw because Oregon went out there and they destroyed James Madison. Then Oregon went out there and let's be real, they destroyed Texas Tech. Not the same way, but to the tune of y'all didn't even score. Okay, now we see Alabama. Alabama looked good in the comeback win, even though they lost by 17. They were down 17 points and still had the comeback win. Okay, Bama, y'all back? No, y'all not. At the end of that Indiana game, it looked like high school football when some kids don't want to be there anymore. Mama, I just want to go home. Every time they handed that ball off up in the 0 hole, 2 hole, 1 hole, right up the middle, touchdowns. That means they took their soul. So you guys got to understand what everyone's trying to figure out, which is what's really going on. We can't have James Madison. We can't have Tulane in there lose. And then you go back to, I knew they were going to lose. See, with Alabama, you didn't say, I knew they were going to lose. You're like, I don't know if they're going to win. Indiana is just a machine. They're too efficient. But you're not sitting there like, I know they're going to lose, right? Be real. Come on, Texas Tech, I know they're going to lose. Now you're like, they might. They got the #1 transfer portal. They all these recruits, all this money they spent. They look good this year, right? That's the point. So you don't want to go somewhere and take a L and then realize you never had a chance. And I think those Group of 5 teams typically make you think they don't have a chance. So that's all. We ain't going to take all day on that topic. It's just relax. I'm a small school player too, and I understand the gripe. I understand that we deserve a chance too. But you deserve your chance when you choose to go to that school. You know damn well what the alignment is in this country in terms of football, SEC, Big Ten, etc. So if you want to go Ivy, you want to go to these small-ass schools, cool. Take the good with the bad. Don't be acting like, we won Ivy League. Let's go SEC. Nah. Doesn't work that way, right? You got to be up in there. So people are trying to play with that. Beat it up in the comments. I see you guys talking that talk about that. And here's another thing people are trying to beat up. They're talking about how those bowl games suck. The Pop-Tart games suck. Nobody want to watch the Citrus Bowl and all that stuff. You sure? You sure? Here's another one. Misnomer. Stop lying. Whether they matter or not, ESPN's non-playoff bowl games are rating just fine. So much for the expanded college football killing off non-college football playing bowls, the playoff bowls. So look at this. Rumors of bowl season's demise have been greatly exaggerated. No other show is going to show you the truth. Where the truth tell us here. It's like C-SPAN over here or something. ESPN's non-playoff games are up 13% in viewership, averaging 2.7 million viewers across the slate. Yeah, all them bowl games we all complain about, you know, the D-Battery game, the D-Battery Bowl and all that, people watching. I wasn't. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was watching. I had it on as background because it's like December 27th and you're like, what else is on? College football. Okay, and you're gonna watch it. So several games posted multi-year or all-time highs despite the concerns that the expanded playoff will cannibalize interest in traditional bowls. No. Pop-Tarts, look at that. That's crazy. Pop-Tarts led the way, 8.7 million viewers. That's crazy, all right? And then the Pinstripe Bowl, these bowls sound crazy. 7.6 million? The NBA wish it coulda. You know what I mean? So here we go. Let's put that in perspective. That's better than any NFL game from Europe this season on NFL Network. So all them games, all them pro games, Jacksonville is half of them, right? Nope. Pinstripe Bowl and Pop-Tart Bowl is beating that. Better than Oregon Penn State on NBC this season. That was supposed to be big, but then Penn State didn't hold up their end of the bargain. Then better than Game 6 of the Knicks-Pacers Eastern Conference Finals. They just keep giving you more, and then you look at this. Look at these. The non-college football playoff bowl viewership up. And look at that. 6, 4, 3, okay? Beating the records from before. So beat up in the comments. Y'all still saying what? What y'all saying? See, this is the funny thing about, like, I just think human beings. They love to say what they ain't gonna do, but they don't like to tell you all the time what they are gonna do because it's not flavor. It's not fashionable. It's not the cool thing to tell somebody, yeah, I'm about to go home and study, or yeah, I'm about to go home and watch the Pinstripe Bowl. What's up, baby? You know, you're like, hey, man, I gotta go home. Where you going? Oh, man, I'm tired, dog. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go home, chill out, man. No need to burn both ends tonight. All right. Then you go home, Pinstripe Bowl. Check somebody's Netflix account. See what movies they really watching. Or worse, check somebody's phone server. Go into their private and see what they really about. You might be surprised. And I think the same dynamic is going on with these damn bowl games. It's cool to be the homie at the party. Man, them games suck. Ain't nobody watching no Pop-Tart. Who even in a Pop-Tart? You get what I'm saying? And then you go home, Pop-Tarts. It's crazy. All right, let's beat it up. In the comments, let me know what you guys are thinking. How to love Pop-Tart Bowl festivities are like a Willy Wonka fever dream. That's what Dominic D'Angelo said. I saw some of it. I did see a big-ass, like, 10-foot Pop-Tart. I was like, that's dope. That's like LL. I saw LL Cool J perform in 87, maybe, 88, Fresh Fest. And he came out on a 10-foot radio. And he said, my radio believe. I was like, Pop-Tarts all around. Pop-Tarts all around. All right, let's get into this. Y'all think it's a problem down in Miami that Troy Aikman got hired as a consultant where Dan Marino obviously reigns and Dan Marino works for that organization? Well, you know who does think there's a problem? Boomer Esiason. Let's hear.
Yeah. What about Mike McDaniel? Has he gotten his job back?
Seems like he's keeping his job, man. And if they're hiring, they're hiring Troy Aikman.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Troy Aikman knows the league. He does, Monday Night Football, talks to all these people, knows everybody within the league. But they're hiring him as a consultant as opposed to Dan Marino, who's already there as a consultant.
Yeah, they're going to work together. Collaboration.
You think they're going to collaborate together?
Those two guys, yeah.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think they like each other?
No, I think they like each other, but I would imagine if I'm Dan Marino, I'm like, what are we doing? We're bringing in Troy Aikman?
But is Dan like
That'd be one thing if
doesn't that sound like, come on, Boomer, you better than that. Like, doesn't that sound like, oh, man, they used to play against each other in a big rivalry 30, 40 years ago, so there's no way they're going to work together. Doesn't that sound like somebody selling me a rivalry? Who just said that? Oh, Kirk Signetti just said that. They were asking, oh, what are you going to do to your kids and make sure they don't get caught up in the Alabama mystique? He's like, I think you watch and care about the mystique more than them. They just watch film. Next question. Come on.
Jerry Jones called up Troy.
okay, but
I'd be like the Giants calling up Phil.
But
let's say the Jets called up Phil.
I do it. I mean, I know I do it. This is the question I would have, though. Is Dan, like, locked in, or is he just, like, sort of there to be Dan Marino when they need him to be Dan Marino?
No, I think he's locked in. I think he's involved.
All right. Then, yeah, it would be awful.
That's the
What?
I thought of.
Well, I just figured Dan was like, that was just like, you throw him in the media guide and say Dan Marino's a part of it, but he's really just out there deep sea fishing somewhere.
Who's his partner? Why you cave that fast? Come on, big dog. Stand up. Sit up tall. Sit up tall. Come on, man.
It's the first thing I thought of. Was like, wow, that's really. I found it to be very interesting. Not that I don't think Troy would be able to do what they're asking him to do and just consult. You know, I think there was a lot of talk about Troy possibly being a GM someday. Like there's a talk about Tom Brady or Peyton Manning being GMs.
Yeah,
but they don't want that job. That job requires an awful lot of time, and there's so much that goes into it. Like I would never want that job. I would never. I don't have the time, nor do I have the desire to ever want a job like that.
Would you send Dan a text about this? Like, what the F's going on, man?
No, I mean, like I just from where I sit and from what I did, I just there's egos involved.
All right. As we know, it's going to be open.
Blah, 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 boo. There are egos involved. Barry Sanders could never work with Emmitt Smith. Oh, man, stop. Y'all know that this is a crock. Like, everybody got suckered, and everybody should have realized, man, don't believe none of this. Don't believe none of this. Remember when Peyton Manning and Tom Brady had to hate each other, except they spent an offseason together, working together to sharpen their own knives together, like iron sharpens iron. Remember when Magic Johnson's supposed to hate Isaiah Thomas so much, except before every game they would hug and give each other a masculine kiss on the cheek or something? Man, will y'all stop? Do y'all understand that at every game they get in a prayer circle and it's both teams? Like, cats, the rivalry, it's okay. Look, I understand the WWE of it. You don't want to wake up from this dream. Like, that ain't real. Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. Hulk Hogan wasn't really putting the elbow down. He did, but, protect him too. So I think we got to protect the image and the ego of the fan and these rival players, but don't act like they hate each other. Grow up. Like, they couldn't work together. I don't know. So it's interesting a little bit about the dynamic, though. I will say that because listen to this. For those who have asked about these topics, Dan Marino and the Dolphins executive Brandon Shore will be involved in the GM search. Their opinion is valued by ownership, but Dolphins ownership, not anybody else, will be leading the search, per source with direct knowledge. Aikman is among those who will participate in interviews, as we noted yesterday. So why really did they bring in Troy Aikman? Find it fascinating. They brought in Troy Aikman because Troy Aikman actually has relationships in the league. Troy Aikman still is active. Like Dan Marino is staying in Miami, working with the team and then doing all of the Dan Marino things. But Troy Aikman is doing all NFL things, talking to players, talking to GMs, talking to coaches. Every single week, a different city. You need that guy on staff. And that's why it's a smart move if you're Stephen Ross, because you brought somebody in who is active. Like, I don't want to hear about, like Boomer was talking about Troy Aikman and Dan Marino based off, I know he still knows them, but based off of reputation, what they used to do, how they used to act. Okay? Now, the difference is, you look at it now, they're going to be like, Troy Aikman's still in them streets. He's still in the alley. All that and more. So you got to respect that. Beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you're doing, what you're thinking about this, and what's crack-a-lackin' mackin'. All right. So now, I'm reading these comments. Y'all silly. I can work with anyone that gives me a nice check. Sal Perez says that. Yeah, I think most people are like that. I mean, it takes a mighty asshole for us to be like, no. It takes a lot because most people are like, dog, it ain't that serious. Like, I don't care enough about you. I got to clear the air. I don't hate people not because I don't feel things and I don't disagree with people and I think that stuff is silly or you're dumb for doing something. It's not that. It's because I don't care enough about you where I'm going to let you invade my peace. Simple as that. That's why I don't fight. That's why I don't get mad. Whatever. If you got a problem with me, that's a one-way street. You've got a problem with me. I'm not going to let you mess up my 51 years on earth because you did something I don't like. I probably did something you don't like. I do stuff I don't like. Me, do things that me don't like. I look back, it's called regret. You're like, damn, why I do that? Why I say that? If you're married, you do that every single day if you're married, right? So when people got the false mindset of like, I'm really pissed at you. I usually think they pissed at themselves because they ain't looked at themselves. If you looked at yourself, you got enough issues to deal with where you can't even deal with theirs. I can't even deal with yours yet, big dog. I ain't bounced this checkbook over here yet. Talking about I'm hanging with you. That's all I got to say about that. So that's why I don't trip. I'm just like you, Sal. I work with anybody, and I have worked with everybody. That's part of the thing. I've worked with so many people, and it is what it is. And, you know, some things I like, some things I don't. But I like them. Even some people that I'm like, we ain't hanging too tough. But I don't dislike you. I don't hate you. I just like, man, I look at it like we got different pathways up to the top of the mountain. You decided to take that trail. I like this trail. This trail is smooth, cemented. And you like the one with the dirt. You're going to get a good workout, but there's some snakes over there and some bushes. You're going to get cut up and I'm going the other way. So speaking of going the other way, a lot of people trying to go away from the SEC, trying to say college football ain't about the SEC no more. Well, Cam Newton says, I think the TV ratings show the SEC is still college football's top conference. Tell me if you agree with Cam. Oh, Cam.
Order in the court. Because somebody has to speak reasoning to the beautiful people of America. And my American people, I will have you to know that the SEC is not and has not went anywhere. Why? Because every team in the SEC does more numbers than every team in the Big Ten, than every team in the ACC, than every team. Man, listen, at the end of the day, everybody knows that if you want to go and get put on, you still go to the SEC. And however great Coach Cignetti is, you still know, I'm not about to go watch Indiana football. I'll prefer to go watch LSU, Ole Miss, the great Auburn, Alabama, UGA, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi State, way before I watch a Penn State, way before I watch a Michigan State, Iowa State. Man, come on now. Is the dominance over? Yes. Why? It's because the ability to pay players now. But they still don't do the numbers that the SEC does. And the mantra of the SEC, might I remind you, it's just different, Ryan Terry. You and I both know that.
Okay.
I'm going to say, can I?
Blah, blah, blah. Where y'all at? Now, answer it before I show you it. SEC still the dominant conference? And it's really a two-pronged question because you're like on the field or in ratings, right? So let's just get into it. I told y'all Cam my favorite, man. That dude is hilarious. Him and Gilbert Arenas and Cam just are hilarious to me. So let's look at the top 10 college broadcasts. Who do you rather watch? Cam was saying you rather watch SEC. Let's figure this out. Let's see if this is real. Okay. The top game of last year, or I should say this year, whatever, this season, last year, Ohio State, Michigan. That's Big Ten versus Big Ten. Uh-oh, Cam, sound like you ain't right. The top one, the one we all wanted to see, wasn't the SEC game. Then we go to the next one, and that is SEC. I don't know why. Damn, ChatGPT, get your mind right. Big Ten and Big 12. Then you got the Big Ten championship was third. Uh-oh, so two of the top three, and all three got Ohio State in it. Uh-oh. Sound like we might be a little bit off. Then we got SEC. Isn't that crazy? Top three all got Ohio State. And then they got a Big Ten team in all of them, obviously. Then we get down to here, get a little more. SEC starting to run. They got the mid-pack. They got like 4 through 7. And then 8, Notre Dame, Miami, independent, ACC, Alabama, Florida State. And then Oklahoma, Alabama. Okay, so how we break that down, basically? Because they didn't count Texas properly, so that's 6 of the top 10. But then we got Ohio State with the top 3. So 6 of the top 10, but the top 3, Ohio State. Little fact check right there. What you think? I ain't gonna lie, though. When you run down the list of the conferences, Big Ten, top to bottom, SEC, top to bottom, it ain't no conversation. I'm watching SEC. You put me on the island, you say you only get one conference, SEC. However, that Ohio State hit different. That Penn State hit different when they rolling. So it's weird. it's like everything. Production really going to dictate how we going to consume it. If you got the product, we coming. Word of mouth, people word of mouth, we going to talk about it. We going to all go there. So a lot of conversations on this topic, and Danny Cannell even sounded off. He's like, look, the SEC, Cam, chill out. Y'all shouldn't be rewarded no more with being one of the college football teams just because you're in the SEC. That ain't going to get it.
I have deferred to the SEC as the deepest conference in college football this year.
Sure.
But it is interesting how we've kind of moved the goalpost a little bit, because for a long time, all we heard about was national championships. How many national championships we have? And they had an incredible run. But now that we've had 2 years with Big Ten champions, all of a sudden it's, well, they're not deep. They don't have any. They don't have a deep team. It's such an easy road. And now we're looking at one more team remaining in Ole Miss, who is, by the odds makers, the 4th best team of this playoff. Can we remind people of this outcome so that the next time we're selecting teams for the college football playoff, we just don't defer and give the SEC 5 or even 6. There were a lot of people who are pounding the table for 6, which would have been half of this playoff field. I get that your schedule is tough, but is it so much tougher that we should just manipulate the playoffs so that you guys have an incredibly unfair advantage to have that many teams in there? To me, I think this has to be discussed and has to be looked at. But Greg Sankey, the SEC, they have the most power that they are holding on to as tight as they possibly can, because they do realize the more you get in, the better chance you have of eventually winning one.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to have to look at this, because things are changing. Since you can pay, don't mean we need to see you up in there, because the SEC been suspect. Be real. How the SEC look? How does the SEC look in the playoffs and in the bowl games? Okay, we got Ole Miss, we got Texas. Okay, they fixed it. They beat. Look at that. Ole Miss, Texas, and then they 2-5. Alabama, Missouri, Mississippi State, LSU, Tennessee, all L's right there. Look at that. Losing to who? Oh, so Ole Miss beat Georgia, Texas beat Michigan. The rest, Alabama, you lost to Indiana, smoked. Missouri lost to Virginia, yuck. And Mississippi State lost to Wake Forest. What are you doing? LSU, what? Lost to Houston. Y'all played them in basketball? What are we doing? And Tennessee lost to Illinois. Used to say Illinois until somebody corrected me. Illinois. Whatever. So it's all good. It's all right. So beat it up in the comments. It seems like y'all love the SEC more too. Yep. Anthony Smith said, I definitely prefer the SEC 100. Yeah, it ain't really an argument. It's going to take time for us to change our mindset towards this, because it's going to take time for the landscape to change. But it's coming. Texas Tech was up in there. How you do it? Pay. And then you make it happen. All right, speaking of somebody got paid and it made it happen, but now people are trying to act like, what's really happening? Lamar Jackson, he has to answer all of these conversations, rumors about his leadership, about how he's acting around the team and the facility. Kind of gangster. Let's go.
I always want to play football, but I felt like my brother had he can put a win off for us, because I wouldn't be able to do anything. I was really hurt. Like, I don't know why I got to get questioned about, or I hear things about, I don't know if he really, like, I never quit on my team before, so I never quit anything, to be honest with y'all. So I don't know where that noise came from, but like, I already know my brother he gonna pull it off if I couldn't get it done, So.
Surprised you that, like you just mentioned, the talk that comes up when you do get hurt, how people react. It seems like they're not as quick to believe that you're as hurt as you.
But fans, fans do ask, like, does Lamar want to be here? Is he where he wants to be? What
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I don't even know where that come from.
Right. Probably because, some people think they're just waiting for you to sign a contract and get something done with the team.
But we got to focus on winning right now. So contract talk can be after the season or whatever, but during the season, I'm locked in.
Would you say you have a good relationship with John Harbaugh? That was another thing that was brought up. Would you say you guys have a strong relationship?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know like I said, I don't know where the noise come from, man. I don't know where the noise come from.
Blah, blah, blah. Let's go. Okay. A lot of assumptions are being made based off of that article, because a lot of times when we hear an allegation, no matter if it's an allegation through court, allegation through report, we take it as law. And then we try to eliminate, we try to go and undermine it. We try to bring it back, Because once you hear something, you're like, oh yeah. And then it's like, but really? Nah. Instead of the way it's supposed to be, when you hear something, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. And then you like build that case up. Instead, we try to take that case apart. So as soon as we heard Lamar Jackson, oh man, what'd he do? What'd he do? You mean what somebody heard he did? You mean what somebody who wasn't there think he heard about, or someone else who was there told him, which we don't always want to trust, always believe in that person? Like, I'm not going to give you that benefit of doubt person who's telling me slanderous things about this guy. Oh, well, why would he lie? Why would he make it up? People don't need a reason to lie. Some people just lie, right? Like inherently lie. Some people just want to make it up. Some people want to be a part of the mix. No, they won't be a part of the mix, but can associate with the mix by talking about who you talking about, right? You know, they know that you ain't talking about them. They know they'll never be a headline in the article, so Lamar Jackson will be. Guess what I know? This is the same thing where every time you read about a celebrity, how do you find out the information? People close to the source. People close to the celebrity. People in their circle say, what was the reaction to Taylor Swift when she heard that she did something? Well, people close to Taylor said. So Lamar, let me help him out though. Look, I don't like this cliche. A lot of people use it. Where there's smoke, there's fire. No. Sometimes you can't add it up and it makes no sense. And you can't make sense out of nonsense. But you think there's smoke, there's fire. Here's where Lamar suffers. And just being real. He suffers in the fact that when he's talking about situations, he's not being precise. He's not trying to be sophisticated. He's a common man. Look, the dude, this is how he gives his press conference. I just want you to take a look again. And this is why there's look at him. He just, watch him.
I heard I'll be playing the game at like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Okay. That's the leader of your franchise in terms of players. And people lazily will make assumptions on him based on just the presentation, right? You don't believe me? You remember back in the days, and they may still do this, but I don't go to clubs anymore. There was a dress code. NBA did it, okay? Even better example. Everybody knows. One day, David Stern woke up and said, dress code. Now, why did he do that? A lot of people took it racially, culturally. It was like, oh, you trying to make sure that nobody wear T-shirts and sag anymore and all that. Yeah. Whatever it may be. But the real of it is, and back in the days, they don't even do this anymore as much. Wall Street, always had to wear your suit. Always had to be buttoned down, buttoned up, right? And then all of a sudden, you saw what happened in Silicon Valley. And then in Silicon Valley, they like, T-shirt and jeans, who gives a damn? As long as you get to the money, get me to the money. But the point is presentation matters to a lot of people. And when you present yourself a certain way, they're going to make the lazy assumptions and associations and stereotypes that come with it, right? I used to wear T-shirts and khakis and sag and Cortezes. I used to wear a hat, all that. I looked like a gangster. Farthest thing you could ever see from a gangster. But I was dressing the part. Being a part of the culture, fitting in, whatever the fad was, I wore them. You know the game. So Lamar, he dresses like, and he talks like, hey man, I'm not on a high horse. And then people say, okay, that comes with a list of associations. So he's not precise. Here's an example. They said, you have a good relationship with Coach Harbaugh. Now, if you buttoned up trying to play that role and be perfect, you say, we have an amazing relationship. I don't know where that comes from. Lamar says, I think so. I don't know where that comes from. You get the difference? This ain't got nothing to do with nothing except, okay, everywhere you go, you set up your own defense. No matter who you are in life, you're going to set up the resistance against you based on who you are, right? So if you're a nerd, you're going to have the resistance of people clowning you. You think it's all about your bucks and you just act like that. You have no social life. If you're a socialite and a class clown, oh man, you don't take life seriously. You ain't going to never get into the books. Everything. Now, the crazy thing is there are nerds that are class clowns. Raise your hand if you're one. I was a nerd class clown. I had jokes and I had books. See how lazy? That's why the assumptions are. So people assume Lamar's not smart, as intelligent as he is, isn't as professional, isn't as dedicated, because he's just looking like, yo, I'm one of the fellas. I'm talking like one of the fellas. I'm not up here trying to give a master class on leadership and guidelines of being a franchise quarterback. No, he's not. He's like, I think we cool. I don't even know where that come from. I don't even do that. What are you talking about? And that's the difference, sophistication. And Lamar, it's so weird he has to deal with all of this stuff because he's being Lamar. Like, you know, like we all see when somebody gets buttoned up, we all know the person that has to button up. When they're done with work, oh, make me a double, a strong one. They go like this, whew. And then the real them is starting to breathe out. Because they're like, I've been presenting all day. Lamar is not into the presentation mode. He's not into that scope. He's like, I'm just going to ball. I'm into winning. I ain't even tripping on the money. Y'all tripped on me. Thought I wasn't professional. Thought I couldn't handle myself off the field. Thought I couldn't have my mom as an agent so I could pay her that 3% instead of paying some dude I don't know. Thought we couldn't get the deal done. And y'all slandered his name throughout that whole process. What happened? Ended up being the highest paid ever at that time. Mama did that. Come on, y'all. So judging his box, judging how he does things is how you get judged. Ye judge, ye shall be judged. So when you come out and you do something that's stereotypical or people can put in association, that's who you are, that's who you are, right? It happens in all kind of ways. It's not even that deep. You pull up to a red light and you see a Dodge Charger all fixed up. Blah, 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 blah. You look, yep, you know who you're going to see. Some 21-year-old or some dude just got out of high school or some JUCO dude ready to street race or some dude who's working his 9 to 5 and ready to blow off a little steam. And I'm sitting there in that Tesla plaid. I'm like, do you really want to do this? And we're not doing this because I got 3 itty bitties in the back, but this doesn't make noise. But it goes, right? I beat it. I would. 20, 30 years ago, I wouldn't even like, I would have raced his ass and destroyed him. So Lamar is interesting. He's going to go through this cycle again because it's too easy, right? There's natural forces to get paid. Everyone knows this in the NFL. The mantra is as soon as you get paid upstairs, they're trying to look for ways to get that money back. It's weird. Because it doesn't make sense. We want to pay our franchise player. Here, Patrick Mahomes. Here, Lamar Jackson. Here, Josh Allen. Josh Allen even said, nah, I don't need all that. Save some, you know. Put that to other players on the team. Put that to use. But the point is, they're going to come at you. You're going to hear, I don't think you can win the big one, Josh. Patrick Mahomes, your best days are behind you. Lamar Jackson, you sleep in the meetings and you're playing games and the team can't win with you, can't win the big one. It's just the wins against you. Everybody got him. Everybody got him. Yep, him too. Tom Brady, is it really you or is it Belichick? Peyton Manning, when you going to win the big one? You falling short. You get too nervous in these big games. It's crazy. Everybody has to deal with it. And Lamar is going to have to deal with it. Trust me, this offseason, if he don't sign that deal day one, which he won't. See, the winds are trying to rush you. They're trying to blow you into a situation where you feel insecure, inferior, and you just give up your value. Lamar got to cut through that. But the problem is cutting through that, you just open yourself up for more slander. I don't know if it's true or false. I do believe he falls asleep in meetings because every NFL player I've ever met fell asleep in meetings. I've never met the guy who didn't, but you're the one. Maybe you and Phil Hansen. If y'all know who Phil Hansen is, y'all know Phil Hansen. But everybody go like this. Everybody go, man, are you kidding me? I'm 27 years old, been playing football since I was 7. And you telling me about a cover 2 again? What? Who hasn't fallen asleep in class and got an A in that class? I got an A in the class. I used to go like this. Man, look. And then you go like this. Oh, God. You fighting, you ate. You already had lunch. Big-ass pastrami sandwich. You stuck. You're like, oh, God. And you fighting it. And then you think you only went to sleep for a second. Everyone has this same issue. You think you only, man, you missed half the class. So I don't know. Look, if you ask me what I really believe, of course he fell asleep in some meetings. I hope so. It's actually a rite of passage. You can't be amazing and coach don't clown you because you great. What coach say? What did Parcells say when Lawrence Taylor showed up late to the meeting? Why y'all start the meeting on time? Why y'all start the meeting so early? Won't you wait? What happens when a sorry player does the same thing? Cut his ass. Why? He missed the meeting. He was late. So I hope Lamar is falling asleep in a meeting or two. You think Tom Brady ain't never dozed off? Stop. Just stop. It's okay. We need real brands. Okay. But Tom Brady is buttoned up. So when you ask him about him and Belichick, he going to lie to the day he died. Then he going to wake up one day and be like, Right? He's still covering for Belichick. They were like, Brady, how's it going? Well, I think I'm looking forward to future opportunities. And it's been an amazing experience here, We won a lot together, Bill and I. He don't say, I think so. Like Lamar, like, I think so. Just a difference, y'all. Just a difference. Thank you. Float on OK says, thanks for what you do. Yes, thank you, brother. Real spit. Beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you think about this Lamar topic. I think it's fascinating. Yeah, Lamar is quiet. Lamar is a quiet type. It seems like he's to himself. I met him before, but I don't know Lamar like that. But it seems harmless. Like he just like, look, let's go get it, dog. I'm a talent. Y'all know what it is. Let's go get it. And then trying to fit in, you actually make it harder on yourself because you're not like one of the guys. It's a weird dynamic. It's a weird psychology. To fit in is actually like what we all wish someone would do. But we also are now bringing them problems because they not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Lamar Jackson is not like anybody else he kicking it with, okay? He not. He won't be treated that way. He won't be thought of that way. That's why when he comes up and he gives the press conference, he has to talk about all the stuff that he's like, I don't even know where they come from. They don't make up all these stories about everybody else. They don't even spend the time on it. And that's one of the reasons why I love doing this show, talking about sports, talking about the same stuff everybody talking about, what's happening on the field, the NFL standings, what's happening in college football. We're going to do all that. But we also going to talk about y'all, because nobody talking about them. Where are the checks and balances? Who policing the police? You know what I mean? I don't take anybody's word as gospel, so that's what we doing. Beat it up in the comments. Everybody falls asleep. You ain't living if you ain't falling asleep on something that you routinely do. Stop. Hammer time. Don't even make it up. All right, now, speaking of making it up, y'all know me. I got some LeBron love just because at worst he's the second, third best player ever. I got to respect Kareem. But people just don't care. They want him gone. They said enough is enough. We don't want to see no more of this. That's crazy.
I'm staying there as long as you want, man.
Yeah, man.
He got to retire this year, bro.
No, he don't, bro. I
just don't like the fact
I need
that
25
how many
years.
points Bron average?
Probably 20.
Nah,
he had like 18.
Who said no?
It ain't quite 20 yet, man.
He do.
Oh, we out of pocket. It's right there, 20.3. I thought it was upper.
What we talking about, gang?
27,
And we shooting 50%.
That's the lowest since his rookie year.
I'm an all-star.
That's the lowest since his rookie year.
In my 23rd year in the NBA, I am averaging 20 points on shooting 50% from the field.
I play with two people.
I am not the problem.
Your worst year is my dream year. I definitely understand.
This nigga's dream year.
I definitely understand, but what I'm saying is I can't see Bron having rookie stats no more. Like, that's just not good for my love of the game. He's too good of a player, too legendary to ever.
Why? Why? I mean, sometimes I used to always say media versus ballers, but he's a baller. Teague a baller. So I'm like, why? I thought the old saying was ball till you fall. Like, you know how hard it is to find anything else in this world that scratches the itch of playing professional ball? Like, you know how hard it is? And then we're going to rush this dude out because we don't like what we see now and it reminds us of when we first saw you. And it's still better than a lot of guys who, at their best, we're not trying to rush anybody else out of here at their best that is still worse than LeBron. It's just weird to me.
I never wanted him to have Michael Jordan stats at the end of his career.
Wizard stats?
Yeah.
That's Wizard J.
That's Wizard Mike.
That's Wizard J for sure.
As long as Bron killed the playoffs, the only thing that really killed me if Bron killed the playoffs and like be mid, that hurt, bro.
I always wanted him to average 25 when he left. Like his last year.
Do that in the playoffs.
Like, this is Mike 20. Mike averaged 20, didn't he?
Yep. LeBron got to start acting like Kawhi, man. Sit some games out. LeBron gonna kill in the playoffs.
He did at the beginning of the season.
He missed the whole first half.
I need some more, bro. I'm 41 years old, bro. LeBron go get in the playoffs and average 25.
Unfortunately, his team does not have the luxury of him sitting out because Austin Reeves is out. So if you leave Luka by himself again, y'all gonna keep
Austin
losing.
Reeves, hurry up and get your shit together.
Bro, he's out for at least another 4 weeks.
He's probably 6, bro. He's hurt for
That
real.
nigga Mike.
Did y'all know that?
What?
Jordan played 17 games in 94 and was 11th in MVP.
He cold. How much he averaged?
27.
That's why they had to change the rule.
Yeah,
he was in the MVP voting at 17
He
games.
played 17 games.
Bro, it's an 82-game season, bro.
45 Michael Jordan.
Y'all know
They just like Mike too much, bro.
No.
At that point, bro.
No, bro, y'all know him the best, bro. Y'all
They
know
had, that's why they
Can you
changed the
make that
rule.
bigger? Because you know I can't see the shit. Look at this fool stats. 37, 35, 32, 33, 31, 30, 32. That nigga took a hiatus.
27 was just
He
he was
took a
rusty.
4-year hiatus.
Yeah.
That nigga retired after averaging 32 points a game.
Love it.
God.
Yeah, bro. It's different.
That
out
is
to LeBron,
insane, bro. Michael Jordan is a different specimen, bro.
Come on,
That
man.
is crazy, bro.
The GOAT, man.
I wonder why he talked dusty to the niggas.
Yeah, that's why he called
I didn't
everybody
even
fat.
play a fourth of the season. I was still up there in MVP talks, bro.
Y'all really sad.
That is really sad. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, if that don't scream the bias that we all still have to deal with, and I don't take nothing away from nobody, but I'm not going to give him no credit for bias. It's like, nah. And so, look, LeBron right now, forget how good you think he is, how great he is, and you're comparing him to himself, and you're like, I don't want to see this anymore. Stop watching. Stop looking. Stop trying to make this man have to rush up out of there. I don't know what his plan is. Maybe he want Bryce to play with him too. I don't give a damn. If you can do it, do it. Think about it. If you were him, what would you do? Got quiet, huh? Oh, I'd tap out. No, you wouldn't. Somebody paying you what, $50 million, and you going where? To do what? That you can still do and play basketball. He done built up an empire playing basketball. He don't need to be. What are we doing? Like we really, and I see this, we really lose our connection, our humanity. We really lose reality when we talking about somebody who we think doesn't live in our world. We be like, why they doing that? What would you do? You not playing with your son? Ooh, what would you do? You ain't still gonna play because you could average 20 points a game? And you 41, you playing defense every play? When you got a 25-year-old, 26-year-old who ain't playing defense either? I don't want to defend LeBron. I want to defend the right to be LeBron, which is, y'all better stop playing with me, dog. Y'all better stop talking that talk. Y'all better stop acting like y'all know it all, because that ain't it. Beat up in the comments, man. Look, Jordan the only GOAT. Cool. I hear you, Sal Perez. Jordan got crossed by AI, failed with the Wizards, and LeGoat all-time leading scorer, Iceman. Hey, look, if you really want to go there to the court of law, they both going to take some L's, and they both going to get some dubs. But to be like so, like it's like unilateral, like everybody just Jordan. Well, not everybody, but you know how it goes. It's fashion to talk trash about LeBron. When I remember when Jordan with the Wizards, it was protected. Like, oh, no, we're so excited. We're so thankful we get to see. It's not the same, but we're so thankful we still get another chance to watch Jordan do what he does best. And then LeBron doing the same thing but better at the end of his career. And they're like, It's crazy. You know what else is crazy? What happened between Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons? Because it ain't stopped. So Micah Parsons is responding to, what's it, Eberflus, the DC out in Dallas was like, yo, we kind of missed Micah. We lost a tremendous pass rusher. It hurt the defense. And Micah's like, y'all want me to feel bad? Jerry Jones slandered my name to Cowboys media and national media for months. So I do think I can react to comment if I want to, respectfully. So Jerry Jones is like, Micah at it again, huh? Micah doing Micah. Okay. Let's be real about this, Micah. I'm going to tell you what happened. Well, we wanted 4 or 5 players more than we did him. I understand his sensitivity and can even understand these comments. Oh, Jerry not done. Jerry said, I get what you're doing, big dog. But at the same time, what are you talking about? So Jerry says, I understand you, Micah. Let me try and get my Jerry Jones voice on, since you know I know Jerry Jones now. He done gave me some of that money he made. And Wiley, all I got to say to you is you owe me, baby. Cowboy for life, but you owe me, baby. All right, here we go. So this is Jerry Jones. I understand the sensitivity and everything. Now, there's some interesting quotes in here because it's talking about the back and forth between them, and Jerry Jones is like, look, I wish Micah the very best. I'd love to have Micah on the team, but we just couldn't afford him. We wanted 4 or 5 players more than we did him. He's outstanding. I understand his sensitivity, and I can even understand these comments. So that's Jerry Jones responding in full to Micah Parsons, which some have taken as a shot. What you trying to say, Jerry? Instead of, I don't think it's a shot. He's like, look, I can get you, or I can get 4 or 5 dudes that add up to what I'm going to pay you. I take it. And people think that's a shot instead of like, I think people were like, yo, there's 4 or 5 players you think better than Micah. You wanted them before him. Nah. You know what I mean? You got $1. You go in the store. What you going to do? You going to get them small little Reese's that cost a dime each, right? The little Reese's cups. Or you going to get 1 bag of Cheetos. It's 99 cents. You know what I mean? He's like, I'll take 10 Reese's. You know what I mean? Simple as that. It's not that deep. So people want to run with that and keep that going, and they are still going at it. And we are still going at it because we're trying to fix something. Can y'all help me? Tell me if you think this fixes everything that we've been talking about. We've been talking about a lot of college football, a lot of college sports. I think Dan Lanning and them fixed it. Let's hear it. I said let's hear it.
Every playoff game should be played every single weekend until you finish the season. Ideally, the season, even if it means we start week 0 or you eliminate a bye, the season ends January 1st. This should be the last game. It should be the championship game, and then the portal opens. And then coaches that have to move on to their next opportunities get the opportunity to move to their next opportunities. I've got a ton of respect for the NFL, but we're a prep league for the NFL. We do a lot of favors for the NFL, right? We're the minor league in a lot of ways, but there's no money paid from the NFL to take care of college football, right? And in that sense, we've given up some of our days, right, to the NFL. We said, you guys get to have this day, you get to have this day, you get to have this day. Saturdays should be sacred for college football, right? And every Saturday through the month of December should belong to to college football, in my opinion. Ultimately,
He had me until the end. We ain't protecting nothing. You earn it. You get it with your muscle, as they say in these streets. To let the marketplace dictate. On Saturday, if I want to watch college football, I do. And I understand it does have the ritual, the tradition, and it feels good. Saturday, college football, Sunday, pro football. But then when they start putting pro football on Saturday, I didn't blink an eye. I was like, yes, more options. Come on. Let us dictate. Don't you protect the tradition. No. Earn it. So I take it. I take what he's saying, though, in terms of like, look, we feeding the NFL. NFL ain't looking out for us. You know, think about it. College football is always respecting what the NFL is doing, and everyone has to maneuver around the NFL. The NFL is just like, we here. We are. Do you? And so if you college football, you better start acting like you got some muscles. You know, you better start flexing that viewership, that 18 million that watch Ohio State play Texas. You better start flexing. But at the same time, it's tough because you know why they can't flex fully? Because they have to go to the same partners that partner with the NFL. So if you want football, you want the NFL first. Then you want college football. So you can't flex on the NFL because they homeboy, who is that broadcast partner, those media rights, is going to be like, what y'all doing with the NFL? Oh, we can't have both of you. Don't let the NFL, don't let Goodell go into one of the meetings and say, it's either them or us. You make the call. Them or us. And you know how that's going to play out. Bye-bye college football. So I think that's the situation right now that everybody's talking about. They trying to go away. Oh, good. We making good time because I got to be gone at 9:15 on the West Coast because my wife got me on the honey-do list. My wife always makes me set up her computer with these apps. And I'm like, 1, go to the app store. But 2, I already set it up. But 3, I better go do it and not tell her any of this. And y'all better not say nothing else. All right. So sometimes I question her IQ. I'm like, baby, what are you doing? We just went over that. Well, unfortunately, my baby ain't the only one getting her IQ questioned. My dog, my homie, Russell Westbrook, Brody, they're questioning your IQ. Let's go.
Is Russ in there?
I think Russ is a high IQ basketball player.
Is he in there?
I think so.
Russ IQ is better than Draymond Green's?
I'm asking you a question.
No. Okay, so high IQ is understanding possession time, understanding what's needed. That's what makes a great fourth quarter player, right? A great fourth quarter player has a very high IQ, right? They know time, possession, understanding speed. Russ's problem has always been kinda how he plays the first quarter is the same as he's playing the fourth quarter. That's why there's always a lot of erratic plays being made, right? It's hero plays where the game slows down and you got to think more than you got to act and react with your body. So I wouldn't put Russ in that category. Triple-double guy, a very great basketball player, but when it comes to thinking the game at this level that they're talking about, top 10, top 1%, no.
Blah, blah, blah. Fascinating topic. We can remove Russell Westbrook from this because we don't have to have that debate, but we can use this to spark a debate and spark a conversation because it's interesting. High IQ players, and we've all seen them. We all witnessed them. We know them when we see them. They're the ones who get the most out of situations. They get the most out of themselves, right? They're the ones that set everyone else up for success. And how do they do that? My theory is they manipulate time and space. Simple as that. They're able to manipulate the time and space. So first quarter, everybody, no matter how sorry, how good you are, is able. Everybody's able. I remember being in games, whether it was Jonathan Ogden or Walter Jones or Orlando Pace, the Beast, or it was some dude I can't name right now because he wasn't that guy. But in the first quarter, he was that guy. You know, you could get him, you could feel like, oh, okay, you can start to see, oh, this is going to be good today. Or you get by him a couple of times, the quarterback throw the ball. Like, where the other top dogs, you know, high IQ players, whatever you want to call it, that first quarter is like, nah, we having a little song and dance. You see it best in boxing. In boxing, round one, you ain't even got to watch. You never have to sit down for a mega fight round one. Just go keep eating. Go to the bathroom, go to concessions. They ain't doing nothing. They trying to figure out and measure time and space. Right? Get the timing down. Get the space right. Right? They ain't doing nothing first round. First quarter of the sports typically is the same. Then all of a sudden, you know, second quarter, you know, things start coming. You start getting a little flustered. You up a little, you down a little, whatever it may be. Things start moving faster than they were. And then it's the first phase of that war of attrition, the atrophy. Like right in that moment, all of a sudden, your preparation, your conditioning, all of that is now on alert. Right? It ain't failing you yet, but it's on alert. Then you get a break. Then you got to reignite yourself third quarter. That's when it starts to get real. Coaching. Coaches start to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We took a break. We saw everything that they were showing us. We know their levels. Let's start activating, manipulate. And then the high IQ players in those moments, high IQ means also you're ready for it, conditioning physically and mentally. And then by the time the fourth quarter rolls around, they done solved the Rubik's Cube. They done figured out the Tetris. They're like, now I got you set up. So that's the boxer who like round 5 or so is like, okay, now I'm about to feint, right? And as soon as I go like, think, watch this left hook. Wow, bow, like, oh, fight change. Same thing in sports that are not boxing, like basketball, football. You're like, okay, he been stopping this rip all day. Okay, now I'm about to rip spin. Because he stopped my rip, he been washing me. He let me get in here, he clawed down and he washed. Okay, here we go. Wash, you want to wash? Wash this. Spin. I use your momentum against you. Aikido, Dwight Freeney style, spin cycle, and I'm out. Ooh, you been stopping that rip all day. You think I ain't noticed? Partner, high IQ. Simple stuff like that. Now what they saying is bring Russell Westbrook back in here. Because we all watch his game. We all know he has one speed, typically. Like, you know, obviously he walks the ball up the court at times. I'm not trying to be absolute. But typically, he just looked like transition. He looked like fast break. He looked like, let's go. Because he's still more athletic than almost everybody in the league. And I don't know what 38? I don't know. It's insane. It's insane. But the thing is the manipulation of the time and space, right? Your speed. You heard Gilbert kept saying the speed. Like, it's so crazy to show kids this, but I always tell them speed is how fast you can go under control. Because you could tell somebody to race. You could tell somebody to beat somebody's 40 time. You could tell kids to go. But can you control it? Because variables, obstacles are going to present themselves. You got to be able to go around them. But if you're out of control, you can't do jack. I don't care if you go over there and chase him down, but then he cuts and you can't cut because you ain't under control. I got over there, coach. Yeah, you did the hard part. Grab the flag. Tackle the dude. That's the easy part. The hard part is getting in position. So you got to be under control. And Russell Westbrook typically is not under control like some other players of his ilk. That's all it is. It ain't no diss. Everybody got their thing, right? So I thought that was fascinating because you look at Westbrook and you see so much. I mean, first of all, who saw that coming at UCLA like this? I mean, he was good at UCLA. He wasn't this. I mean, he was coming off the bench too at UCLA. It's just sick. Respect to Brody. Respect. Respect to this too. Beat it up in the comments, y'all. I see y'all in these comments talking about Float On says, can't say Dre is bad when you look at how bad Golden State is without him and Curry. Yeah, and Jimmy Butler last night, so I know you're talking about that game. It's like that. Okay, so you got to look at it. Chris says, why did they ever trade him from look, I ain't gonna go into all that. I don't know why they traded him. You don't always get traded because you sorry. You don't always get traded. Sometimes they just trade you because they're like, we want more. Like Micah Parsons, you traded him because we want a lot more to get out of you. We get 5 for 1. Sometimes they trade you because it's like personality. Sometimes they trade you because we ain't gonna go nowhere with you and we're gonna let you go to greener pastures. There's so many reasons. So it could be a lot of that. So now tell me this, y'all. Podcast or radio? Y'all still listen to the radio? Some people say you should be. Some people say you are because it's in a better place than ever. Let's see.
The fact that we are on the same platforms as all of our competitors are evens the playing field in a way that strengthens us, right? Like, so it used to be where podcasts were going to beat radio and YouTube's going to beat radio and streaming's going to beat radio. But now we're there too, right? So yes. So it's less about the radio, which people still tune into at I think it would surprise people how the percentage of the population, which is like 90% that tunes into radio every day, like in the car, whatever. Put that to the side for a second. Now it just becomes a battle of the fittest of who is best at doing what we do. And I still think we are better at doing what we do than anybody is at what we do.
Okay, that's a generalization that doesn't really need much retort because you know that can't be true. Like some are good, some are not. But what he's saying is there has been a leveling of radio as that used to be in terms of a conduit, in terms of the way you consume media, its own entity, and now it's integrated into what we call podcasts, which is basically what I'm doing right here. This could be a radio show. I've had talks with people who wanted to do radio, and then they also mentioned, like he said, hey, people are listening more than you think, but obviously it's not at its peak powers. But we're morphing into podcasting, and now we're starting to see some bumps. Simple as that. But you could do a radio show like this, literally. Like Jim Rome does it out of his studio still. You could do a radio show like he is, right there. It used to be going to the damn studio and all them big knobs and buttons and no. So he's basically saying radio is just, it lands different places. How many channels, how many affiliates you have, what's your network? Whereas podcasts, the world. Like if you got it, they could get it. You could be in China right now on YouTube and be on, I'm like, that dude channel. I like, you know what I mean? So that's how the game goes.
And I think like that's proven over and over. Now, there are some platforms in radio that are now stronger and there's some that are weaker. But I think when you talk about sports and news and those sorts of things where they are person-driven and personality-driven, I feel incredibly optimistic about our platform simply because we're just, again, it's not about at one point, and you found this with SiriusXM when they first came in, it became about the delivery method, and the delivery method was superior, and it gave something. And that was true of podcasting for a minute. It was true with streaming for a minute and YouTube over radio. But that advantage is now flattened, right? So now it's just about who's the best, and I think we're the best right now. So I think the future is bright in that way. I would anybody who loves it, like somebody's got to do it. It's not going away. So I would now, are you going to become as rich as you would have, in 2004? The answer is probably no, but right. You're not going to become as rich in any sort of entertainment field as a performer as you would have been 20 years ago.
Wow. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, interesting. 20 years ago, any entertainment field. Well, sports is entertainment, but we're not going to count it. But obviously that dispels it. Because these athletes are making crazy dough. Actors, it depends. Very few. It used to be a bunch of people in that $20 million club. I don't think it's as many because of the back end deals and the streaming deals and overall deals. Look, I would say this: their actors and stuff have got $200-300 million deals. They ain't had that before. And then you look at like even Charlamagne the God's deal. You look at Joe Rogan's deal. I don't know. He said a couple of generalizations there. I get his spirit of what he's saying. Radio is not dead, but to say that the industry is not rewarding entertainment at the top. Even Drake got so much money, he getting sued every day for the gambling and the casino and the streaming and the bots. And it's just like, yeah, welcome to money. I have a friend who has a wife, beautiful family. Shout out to my boy Lou Dog. His wife is an attorney. And I remember I was talking to her. I was like, oh, you're a lawyer? I mean, she's beautiful, first of all. And she a lawyer. So I was like, damn, good job, Lou. And we talking. And I was like, so where do you work? What firm? And she was like, I work for this one company. I said, okay, is it a firm? She's like, no. I want to say Facebook, but it may not be. But point is, she says all she does all day is field lawsuits and then just, deal with it, dismiss it, take it to court, fight it, pay it, whatever. I was like, what? You work for one company? So like, imagine that, like Facebook, like, yeah, you are a lawyer, which we all know of, but it's like crazy to know they get sued that much. She's like, oh yeah. She's like, oh yeah, it's crazy. So it's just how the game goes, man. Real spit. Okay, I like this conversation, but I know we got a topic on LeBron and the shoe game, but we're going to have to save that because you know us. We're going to talk way too long about that. Oh, man, because everybody knows Jordans are Jordans. But the LeBrons are interesting. Let's see how they talk about it. Rich Paul broke it down. But every now and then I want y'all to understand what I went through. I played a game called football. And the game of football is the best for me, even though I think basketball, all kids should aspire to be basketball players, but there's only so many jobs, so many opportunities. It's the peak of all athletic sports. However, we all don't qualify. So then you don't choose football, football chooses you. Point being, I love football for the chaotic psychosis. Like you can be silly sick in your brain. And we all got a little part of that. We all got a part of our brain where we get black out. And football allows you to do that. And with, a wide range of activity, you can do some crazy stuff in football and don't even get punished. That's why I tell kids all the time, why you act crazy in the car? Why you act crazy at home? Why you act crazy at school? Then you get on this field and you ain't crazy. Get crazy here. No penalties for acting crazy here. Unless you that crazy. Unless you this crazy. Look at this. Look at Trent Williams. This is wild. I saw this video and I was like, let me give me some sound. Oh, look at this. He just picked that man up. Watch this. Jesus. I got to give props where props are due. I never went against Trent Williams, and he lucky because I would have just been running. Oh God, he lucky I ain't play against him. Not because I would have did anything, because he would have had no opponent. He'd be like, dog, ain't no DN over here. I ain't dealing with that. Hell nah. Look at the whole team. The whole team stopped pushing people when he came up. Oh God. Look at this. Sure. Oh, he hit him with like Indiana Jones or something. What the hell? With an Iron Man punch. Look at this. Oh my God. Look at this. And this thing, when y'all start clowning me and don't like me and all that, I had to deal with that. Just letting y'all know. I had to deal with that. And I dealt with it. Not him in particular, but I had to deal with it. Y'all crazy. It's real. It is real out here. Love you guys, man. I'm going to get out of here a little early so I can take care of my wife. Because if I don't take care of my wife, she makes it real hard to just be a nice, peaceful, gentle giant like I am. Hell to pay if your wife ain't happy. So love for you guys, man. Have an amazing day. And we chop some wood later. Peace.
It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole.